on now?
Yes, yes. Bring him in, bring him
Okay.
in.
All right. I'm mad excited.
What? What? What?
Oh
Oh
my
my
goodness.
God.
All right. So, Blender, I am going to bring into the blender two-time Juno Award winner, children's book award winner. Why? It says to take it easy because I'm too rough. Mr. Kirk Diamond.
And
Bless it,
he's
bless it.
live, right us on the Mix Up Show. Uh-huh.
Oh my goodness. You know what? I listen to your music so much, I feel like I just call you Kirky. I'm like, Kirky, what?
Yeah, you can
Up
do that.
personal.
Up close and personal. Like, oh my goodness. This has been a long time coming.
Yeah,
Welcome to the Mix Up Show.
thank you.
Yes, I'm a second that.
Give thanks.
Yes. So, um, oh my goodness, I have so many questions. Your catalog of music is insane. Like you have a wide variety of music and you have a lot of music. So I want to ask you, when did you start doing music?
Professionally, I want to say 14 years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, professionally.
14 years. And was all of that, he's thinking, he's like, wait, let me check.
Yeah, about between 12 and 14.
Okay. So
Yeah.
was all of that done based in Canada or was a piece of that in Jamaica?
As far as me doing music, that's all Canada. As far as my love for music, that was all Jamaica.
Mm. You know, Jamaica has a way of making you just gotta love music.
Yeah, yeah, that it was a hit if Jamaica was playing it,
Yes.
and the way, I mean, even the way Jamaica's radio station is set up more like a juggling than a regular radio station,
Mm-hmm.
so it always felt like it was a party vibe,
Yes.
and then I guess with me coming to Canada now, it was different, right? I've been here since the 90s, so I remember the only time I could hear new music was Van Nelson on a Friday night.
Yes. 88.1, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
and if you never catch it in the first hour, then him kill you with talking for the rest of the show. you know, I remember that vividly.
We're trying to run from that, I guess, right?
Yeah,
A
for
lot
real.
of murder, people that were the talking, a lot of talking.
We good on it too, We good on the talking.
We can't even blame him because with chat only.
I mean, information though.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah, but at that time I wasn't mature enough to really understand his job. It was more like, the viewer more time they just want to hear music, 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 and not
Yeah.
really listening to what he's saying, which is
Mm-hmm.
probably the most important part.
Yeah, because you know what? He did drop a lot of gems and knowledge, right?
Definitely.
So let me ask you, you came to Canada and then you realized like why you can only get reggae like on a Sunday or a Friday. Like what was that? What did that feel like? Like was it like did you ever feel like why I don't want to be here, I'd rather be back home? Or were you like, all right, I'll work with it?
Um, it's kind of two-sided in the sense that I know I didn't want to be back home, but at the same time I wanted to feel like I was back home.
I get it.
It's like I'm one of them students that I love school, but I don't really like schoolwork. That makes sense. Yeah, like that type of vibe. So I love everything about Jamaican culture, but I was quite happy with the change of being in Canada.
I understand that.
Yeah.
Even the winter?
Um, I'm hating it now that I'm getting older. Before it was always exciting, like yo, it's like a snowing, but then after a while now, it's like holy crap.
Yeah.
you know what I mean? And it's nothing that you can ever get used to. The first snow day for the year is always like, yeah, see outside, you
Yeah.
know.
Yep. You're
So
shocked. You're just like, oh, weird.
Yeah, and then it's like you go other places now, like England, and then get some little flurries and have shut down the whole country. And I'm like, for real? So yeah,
For us, we're like, nah, we'll just call in the soldiers. It's okay.
right. You know. And I used to live in Saskatoon, so I know snow.
Oh,
Oh.
wow.
Yeah.
So was that the first place you came?
No, no, no,
Or
no.
did you go
I
to
when
Toronto
I
first?
came, I was probably at the most Jamaican part of Toronto, what
Oh,
them call Little
nice.
Jamaica.
Little Jamaica. Randy's Patty's big up all the
Yeah,
way down.
I was down there, and then my parents were the type of parents where in them the time they like the 90s Eglinton they kind of at sometimes. So
Mm,
my dad wouldn't let me outside. Everything I needed was in the house, and for me it was music. So like I said, that is what really started the love for it.
mm, I get it. That's really cool. And then to get the two Junos, um, okay, correct me if I'm wrong. 2018 was the first one,
Yeah,
and then 2023.
yeah.
That's amazing. 5 years apart.
Thank you. Yeah, it should have been more than that still, but we're not complain. Yeah,
He's been like two-time going towards, more times. So,
yeah. I mean, it's just the quality of music, and we're trying to at least create what they can consider a Canadian sound
what does
that
that
is
mean?
that is acceptable.
Okay.
Um, what does it mean to have a Canadian sound?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, everywhere you go, there's a culture, and that culture is always represented by something, right? Whether it's food, whether it's the way you talk, or it's music, right? Something is always there to represent it. For I want to say reggae music, Canada is the only one that seems to not know where it is. You can't find. Either they're
Mm,
trying to sound too much like Jamaica, or they're trying to sound like a different genre of music, right? And then when you look at it now from, I want to say, a common sensical point of view, my day-to-day life in Toronto or in Canada, after a while, it does not line up with the day-to-day life of somebody in Jamaica.
yeah.
It's two different experiences. So for me to be making music just for Jamaican in Jamaica don't make no sense if I'm not there living it with you,
Mm,
right? But the diaspora of Jamaican people is so big that we should be able to create a reggae music from here that other Jamaicans or Caribbean people outside of Jamaica can relate to.
mm-hmm.
That are just to me that makes sense,
Yeah.
Oh, for
but
sure.
it just not resonate with the so-called people that are supposed to be playing the music, in my opinion.
So you think they're like disconnected a little bit?
No, I'm not really disconnected. Um, most selectors now play for something called forward.
Yeah.
Yes.
So they're playing the biggest song to get such forward or such validation to say that they're a big DJ. We don't really have much DJs, especially I have never seen here that is going to take the chance and say, okay, here's a brand new song from this Toronto artist, and we're gonna run with this for at least 2 months hard.
Mm,
We don't care if you want like it or not. This is my song. This is what I'm championing.
Right.
It have to work. If you did dance, keep here almost every night. If you play every night, eventually the people are gonna start be like, yo, that is our song. Or yeah, me
Yeah.
know the song,
mm-hmm. Yeah.
right? And then it's going to be a thing where they can travel now to a different country and hear the song and really feel proud to say, well, then they come from where this is from. Just like anybody from Toronto, if them travel and hear a Drake, there's like a sense of pride about it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And I think with him being that he sings about Toronto, so he makes it known like I'm from Toronto. This is well, he used to. I don't know if he still does, but you know, I'm from Toronto. This is what it is. So then, yeah, you get to carry that pride when you hear it somewhere else.
Yeah, yeah.
So, how do you navigate writing your songs in order to appeal to the Canadian massive and still be relevant to the Jamaican massive?
I don't write my songs for that.
He does it for the
Yeah,
love, not the likes.
I no, not necessarily. Hear what most of my song them. If the song seems like it dealing with trouble or any type of something where like you need to really think about it, it's something that I'm actually going through or have been through,
Mm,
right? So a lot of the times it's me giving myself therapy. It's not me speaking to nobody else more than me. Some of the other songs that I'm singing to my actual children.
sorry about that.
That's okay.
They always wait till the show and then they're like, yo, I want to talk to you. Let me just put this on Do Not Disturb. Not call me. Yeah. That's actually really cool. Um, that you write for yourself. Like, I'm going to get myself through whatever it is I'm experiencing and put it out there.
It just so happens that this thing in life is not you alone living it.
Oh, you're low. Is he low to you?
The volume dropped a little.
Yeah, your volume dropped. No.
You can hear me better?
Okay,
Yeah,
there you
yeah,
go.
there
Yeah.
you are.
Okay. Yeah. So yeah, a lot of the times it's just, me trying to get myself to get my head wrapped around something. And I just decide to make a write it out. Right. And then a lot of people resonate with it. And I don't get upset if people don't resonate with it. Maybe you're just not having the same experience.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? And that kind of make me feel better too. 'Cause if you follow people, you get mad do this thing out in music. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Especially if you're doing music and trying to get a buzz off of people's likes, then there's absolutely no way you can keep up with the trends of the world.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? So I just try to keep my sanity and I just do what works for me. And eventually the goal is to be able to be, I would call my shows or my music an experience where if you're coming to see Kirk Diamond, you're coming to see Kirk Diamond. Right. Whereas a lot of time, like now I take like a lot of festival bookings and stuff like that, which yeah, it opened me up to a different audience, but the audience comes for who they want to see.
Right.
You know what I mean? Not necessarily you. And as much as I have faith in my performance to know that I can, gain a few fans or whatever at every show, I want it to be a situation where I can have a show where you're getting 100% me and my thoughts, like
Mm.
complete vulnerability and said, this is what I am thinking about. Because that is what music is. You're basically spending money or going to listen to somebody's thoughts,
Mhm.
you know what I mean, over rhythms are in melodic form.
Yeah.
So that's what ultimately that is what I want.
Yeah. And with you, because I've done a deep Diamond dive, um, and I've actually sat there and I listened to your lyrics, and you actually get very intricate with your words, right? And it's like you paint this picture, but it's a very vast picture, but it's
Right.
detailed.
Yeah, yeah. I thank you for that.
Yeah, no, I was
Yeah.
like, I I was in Jamaica for a month, and I you reposted my story where I was singing your lyrics, and it hit me because like it was the dread one,
Hmm.
and it hit me because as a new Rasta, I wouldn't say I'm a Rasta, as a person with locks, because I there's things that I don't do that I probably should do, but I remember going to Jamaica, and as soon as people found out I have locks, it was, well, you shouldn't be washing them, or you shouldn't be doing this, or you shouldn't be doing that. And to hear you speak about it in your song was like, okay, this is mad cool. Like I don't have to listen to what those people are saying. I can actually, do it my way and be all right with it.
No, if you follow people and Rasta, you go mad.
Yeah.
Because everybody have a different I guess way of life or a different belief.
Mhm.
See? Some of them are Christians and walking up and down with natty head.
Hmm.
A lot of them are hiding behind something and don't know nothing. They just regurgitate whatever they hear in music. Bob Marley was a Rasta, so I am a Rasta too.
Right.
Yes.
Um, and then a lot of them just basically switch the word Jesus with Selassie and say there is Rasta as well,
Mhm.
Yeah.
right? And then remember Morgan Irish tell us say don't have to dread to be Rasta.
Rasta. Hmm.
So that now nothing to do with nothing. And then there's this thing now where it's like you realize I found a problem with it. Where it's like when I look at like the European festivals and I see, the so-called Rasta artists them that are living well in Jamaica.
Hmm.
But then when they're in Europe, their presentation is of poor, like they might live like some sort of life that they're really not living.
Mhm.
So,
Really?
so to me, it almost seems as if they're selling poverty
What Rasta?
with Rasta. They must sell
Mhm.
poverty. And then if you really understand Haile Selassie, he was a man of progress
Yeah.
and education, and he was very clean, and he drove in the nicest of vehicles. He upgraded Ethiopia and Africa
Yes.
100% and brought it into the modern world. So why you are trying to live primitive and say that is true Rasta don't make no sense to me,
Yeah.
right? And then
Exactly.
the older folks will always say Rasta dirty, them now wash them smell bad, them this, them can't dress. So Dread now, the song that you listen to, is talking about all of these misconceptions
Right.
of the image or look of Rasta. Cause you're
Hmm.
not gonna catch me dirty no way.
Yeah. When you said
Especially if
Rasta now gonna smell like what? I was like, what?
it not gonna make no sense to me. 'Cause think about it. You literally are walking something that is named off of royalty. Which
Mhm.
royalty you ever see untidy,
Hmm. So true.
right? So if you are claiming to be Rasta, in my opinion, you know, if you take my word for it, 'cause me and Selassie and me and no God.
Hmm.
But if you are going to say that you are walking and representing royalty, I've never seen a representative of any business person look less than that business person.
Yes.
I've never seen any representative of royalty or governments do not look the part.
Yes.
Me nah go smell like no goat, brother. you know,
Oh man.
yeah.
That's like so awesome though, because yeah, you do see them or some people who really try to make themselves look like they're suffering every day,
Mhm.
and
Which
it's
don't
like,
make no sense to me. Have some of them have some big acres on top of acres on top of acres and land and the greatest of cars. And as soon as them come off of the plane, I'm like, holy crap, they really are go through a hard life.
you don't have to
And it's
wonder where
like,
they got those things from.
yeah. So if you realize my music now nothing to do with poverty, none at all. I
Hmm.
will never submit to slavery. I would never
Mhm.
submit to poverty. I would never submit to anything other than because I think that is what got us in this problem in the first place.
Yeah.
Submitting to somebody else's ideologies of what we're supposed to look like,
Yeah.
Hmm.
you know what I mean, and what we're supposed to sound like,
Yes.
and them something there, you know.
Yes. So you're better off to just be authentic.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with you. Imitation is killing yourself,
Yeah.
right?
So true.
But with social media or the mediums before it, they would tell us, say, oh, back in the 90s, you should want to look like Pamela Anderson.
Hmm.
And if you're black, if you don't look like Denzel Washington or the next man, then with upon Young and Restless as a black man.
Oh, Shamar
You
Moore.
not ready,
Okay.
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so true. And then you get like the peer pressure where I remember in high school liking someone that didn't look like the ideal guy, and man, my friends were ready to mash me up over it. You know. And it was like, but I like him. And they're like, no, you
So it must
can't.
be correct. And I use all of these experiences we are talking about and make songs out of it.
Hmm.
You know, yeah.
So I have a question. Is it Need You in My Life?
Yeah.
That's a beautiful song.
Thank you.
So did you actually write that for someone?
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah, I did. Hold on, let me see if I that one there. Yeah, I did. Need you in my life. Yeah,
Yeah. So
yeah,
are you still with them?
yeah. 2 children and just gone downstairs with them and thing.
I love that.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's a very beautiful song. That's probably one of my favorites of yours. It's beautiful. Very nice song.
yeah. Thank you.
So with your
Sorry, I just want to say excuse me for a bit. Somebody else is coming into the studio here.
okay,
Hang
mute your mic. All right. So with your catalog, what song do you perform that you're like, yes, this is my jam?
Um, well, with every performance is different, but it's always ruler.
Mm,
Like that set the pace for the entire show.
yeah,
You know, Dread Now is a part of it.
yeah.
Um, and since 2023, we've been singing War,
Mm-hmm.
but with our little spin on it, and Greater is always the one that we try to close with, depending on the circumstances or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
It's like Greater, we either leave them on a note of inspiration,
Yeah.
and after that, either we leave them hanging on that, or we just burn down the place and go home after that. you know. But Greater is always a song that I feel is necessary, based on
Yes.
like what we're talking about, peer pressures and all them things there, where it's like a lot of people even today can't see the next move or the next 2 moves or the next 5 moves.
Mm-hmm.
And Greater is one of them songs that's like, yo, it's now or later, everything's going to be all right. We will be
Yes.
greater. So I try to leave people on that, and you never know what somebody's going through.
Mm-hmm.
And for many times when we perform that song, it's like we come off and people are in tears or just want a hug and them thing there. You know. If you see the trailer, you see that there's a video where this girl just ran on stage and started embracing me on stage.
Mm-hmm.
Right, full ball or long ball for about 5 minutes.
Wow.
And that's why I love what I do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So even with things like that, with people like rushing the stage to show you love, but do you ever have a moment where you're like, "Ah, you need to get off the stage, like back up, you're too close."
Not necessarily. Not sometimes it can get carried away. So we have to like I communicate with the band very well. So
Mhm.
they can gauge it as well. If I can't see it, if I'm too gone in the moment,
Oh,
then the band they will be like, yo, we need to wrap this now, or
okay.
this person over here don't look so right, so he has to come off of the stage or
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
But people being on stage with me is actually a part of my performance.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, like for every show, we have like this dancing segment where people just come up and then just carry on and get over themselves,
I love that.
and we do that because I really don't like the idol business, you know.
Mm,
Like a lot of people look up on stage at somebody, and sometimes you don't know who's there saying one day I want to be on stage too,
mhm,
or it was once my dream to be on stage,
mhm.
right? So when I give the opportunity for people to come on stage, a lot of people grab it. Now they can feel, or even if it's for a minute,
They can
what
experience
it
that.
feels like to be on stage, right?
Wow.
With people cheering them on. And you don't know what that can do for somebody's entire life or the rest of it anyways.
Yeah.
So we're mindful of that all the time.
That's really cool because that's like a form of giving back to your fans, right?
Yeah, yeah.
That's
And it's
amazing.
also me telling that I'm not above you because I'm on stage.
Mm-hmm.
We're equal. It's just at this moment you're hearing my thoughts.
Yes.
You know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I think if people just walked around with that mentality that at the end of the day, we're all people. You know, you might sing, I might host, you know, somebody else might, I don't know, trade stocks or something, but at the end of the day, we're all humans. We're all
Yeah.
here. You know, we should be able to share our energies in a positive way and elevate, you know.
Yeah. Definitely.
So you won an award for a children's book,
No children's song.
children's song. I keep
Yeah. The
saying
children's
children's.
book no come out yet. We do have a children's book.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but I'm not see it around here right now. But I'll send you the link to it.
Oh, that's so
And
cool.
yeah, it's like an activity book.
Yeah. So like to
And
elevate their minds, let them
yeah,
think.
yeah. And I have two other books that is written, but I just haven't put it out yet.
Hmm.
One of them is like just motivational quotes that I might have heard, or even things from my songs or not like that that I've used to just help my mindset to be where it's supposed to be.
Hmm.
So I kind of made a compilation of these quotes, and I break it down as to what it means for me personally. And that book, I was just going to dedicate it to my children, but anybody can get it,
Yeah. No,
you know.
that's amazing.
Yeah.
And I love that because, you know, elevating our mental is we don't talk about it enough.
No, no. And a lot of people is going through stuff mentally and don't know that that's what it is,
Yes.
you know. And then it takes something simple to break it. 'Cause the mind is very powerful, you know,
Hmm.
right? And it's doing so much things at one time, and it could take just one action or a trigger moment, and you know, you're
And
gone
yeah,
bonkers.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. I know for me personally, I've started because you know the mind is going a million. So for me, my mind goes a million miles a minute, and on top of it, there's music playing in the background of my mind. So it's a soup, you know.
yeah,
But then, you know, I'll get those thoughts where they don't really feel so happy or they don't feel so good, and they might take me down a path. So I found for me, I've started asking myself, does this feel good? Does this thought feel good? And then if not, I try to switch it to something that does, or to a song that, you know, it's going to make me feel a bit better or whatever. But
right.
really, as a society, we all walk around with minds, but yet we don't talk about caring for it.
Yeah, and I don't think it's something that we're ever taught how to do. Really, it's just something where we kind of along the way pick up on it, and then we
Hmm.
might start, or we might feel like this makes me feel better than something else. So you keep on trying to find something to help your mental,
Yes.
you
Yeah.
know. And a lot of the times we find ourselves or give ourselves like self doubt and all them something there,
Hmm.
based on the fact that no one has ever really taught us about how to be positive
Hmm.
in our own self. Like nobody not really tell you say, yo, you can do it, you know, this, that, and the third. Especially with our culture now, then quickly say, yeah, idiot, I can do that.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like them
Yeah.
always have put their, with us, you know,
Their spin
failure
on it.
upon you,
Yes.
you
Yeah.
know. And
Even
then
the saying self praise is no recommendation, and it's like, no, that should be a big recommendation, you
no,
know.
I want to tell you say that nearly made me lose my life.
Wow.
Yeah, that nearly made me lose my life. Where it's like I used to have this thing where it's like I separate myself with my personal life and my music.
Yeah.
And you would be surprised how much people would take advantage of a regular person versus somebody that they think have any form of popularity.
Hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like people see people sometimes as being nobody,
Yeah.
right? And treat them as such.
Hmm.
Really and truly, they just replay the whole slave master and slave routine to everybody,
Yes. Yes.
right? And I was in England, and because I am there trying to be just a regular person, but just want to enjoy myself.
Mhm.
And some security decides, say, the Rasta must catch a beating tonight. Yeah, right. And it was one of them things. There was like, because they felt like I was just somebody that they've never seen before, a regular human being, them can do it and get to it,
Wow.
right? And then it's immediately then that I had to,
Say, hey, this is who I am.
no, not even this is who I am. It's not even about me being Kirk Diamond and not like that. It's the Toronto had to come out of me really and truly, where it's, we can get busy knowing about it now. Go. So even though I tell beer lie, it had to be, this is what it is. And when the commotion started, people realized that it was me. And then it was, no, we never knew it was you, this, that, and the third. Sorry about that. If we knew it was you, this wouldn't have happened. But the fact is, that not supposed to happen to nobody.
Yeah, it shouldn't happen.
You know what I mean? That not supposed to happen to nobody. And that experience was caused by another artist that was threatened by me. Seeing
So they
he's the
like
one that
spreading
set up
rumors
all
about
that.
you?
No, it's not even that. It's just that him see me in the building. It's his show. I was just there to support it and just see what's going on. And he sent a message to the journalist that I was with to come to the stage. And by the time I reached the stage, all of his security was surrounding me.
Oh, wow.
You know what I mean? So it is what it is, though.
But you see how people mess up themselves because you literally were there to support.
Yeah.
Wow.
And you give me a bitter taste now where it's like, my support you will never get ever again.
Hmm.
Right? But it will be, it's not even surprising. Whole heap of people treat people like this all the time. But not everybody has a platform to speak up on it.
Yes.
Or a lot of people then practice that turn the other cheek business. But I
I
was never a
struggle with
turn the
that.
other. Yeah, I was never a turn the other cheek guy.
Yeah. I'm like, you're about to bruise this side. You want this side too? You're
Yeah, like how
crazy.
much job on you want, so you
You
really,
know? But no want mine leaning up.
you know,
Oh man.
you know.
But I love that you're being responsible with your platform, in your music, because I mean, my mom is a Christian
Mm-hmm.
and I was able to play your music no problem. And even just through our conversation, and conversations I've seen you have with other journalists and what have you, that you really um, make it a point to educate.
Yeah, because like I said, a lot of times I'm talking to either myself or my children. You know what I mean? And it's like sometimes them not go listen to you when you speak to them,
Hmm.
right? But then for me personally, my experience is this now where it's like I can say something to my first son and it may go over his head. But then I'll take him to a show and then he sees that I'm singing what I said to him and how other people react to it.
Oh wow.
By next week, him know the whole song word for word. I not have to worry about him with that. He knows better,
Yeah.
right? I just a discipline now if you actually do what you're supposed to. You know what I mean? I just a discipline now where I work on,
Yeah.
you know. Um, Listen man, if me I gonna be honest with you, when I came here, it wasn't an easy road enough to tell you the truth. Now, all me getting a music, a foolish get me in a music.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and because me like you, that's why I get this exclusive. Me never said this to nobody before.
Thank you.
See, when I was 16, we get arrested, right? I come home from a basketball game,
Hmm.
yeah. And when I get arrested coming home from the bar, them arrest me for robbery. See, here when I tell us where I come from,
Basketball.
basketball game. See, no, before I come home straight home, which I should have done now, I know that. Stop at one place in Mississauga named Granny's and buy a curry goat and white rice.
Granny's here in Ontario and Dundas. Big up.
Yes, I'm gonna buy a curry goat and white rice because my mother cook mackerel, and them time them I eat nothing like that. I don't want that for the goat my deal, right? So I remember I stop, I'm gonna mash up the rice quick and I say rest of the goat I go home with the white rice so mommy cook.
Mm-hmm.
See? Alright, cool. So me I walk now with my styrofoam plate now from Granny's and I go home. And by the time I reach Central Parkway and Burnhamthorpe,
Mm-hmm.
police come and kick where the food out of me and grieve me. Right? And I best curry goat that that plate of food are the best curry
Yeah.
goat Canada ever getting. And the policeman kick you out of me. And may I tell you, see, and from the ages of 15 after that to 19, I have to be in my house by 5 o'clock.
Wow.
Right? So when other children or other teenagers out the road and I experiment and I get trying to be an adult, me have to be in my house.
Mm-hmm.
Me and my music alone. So really and truly my whole entire teenage life was stolen by the law.
Wow.
When I go to the trial now, I go there from the 8 o'clock in the morning till 4:30. And the judge beat him arm and say, well, that's it for the case. I'll see you guys. And my lawyer says, so wait, hold on 1 second. My client, you don't deal with him yet.
Mm-hmm.
I'm have to call back in the person what them say was the guy that was robbed. And them call him back in and them say, so what happened to this guy? The man say, I've never seen this man before. He wasn't there. The next two where you send Ghana prison at them.
Wow.
It was two of them, it wasn't three. Who's this?
Wow.
You know why me get caught tonight? When the police step on the phone and say, is there anybody that you saw on the road as witness? Yeah, there was a guy walking with a styrofoam plate in him hand.
Oh, so you were supposed to be a witness.
Right, but them locked me up. Right? Cool. That, in my mind, if you get locked up and some big old beard face man I tell me at 15 say, yo, them are gonna beat me up wicked.
Oh my gosh.
You understand what that do to my mental. So I know write my music to make sure that none of my children have to experience that because me don't experience that already.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody do that jail something there. Nobody with no misbehaving. Forgot through that. Me got
Yeah.
through that already. You don't have to do that.
Mm-hmm.
You get me? So because of that now, I find some I have a different type of mindset when it comes to just life in general.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And me not perfect, I not like that. Me still go on my foolishness more while. But you know, I am trying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, that's the important thing is to try. But I love that you're like on the level where you're gonna elevate your children so they don't have to go through the things that you've gone through, or you would hope
Yeah, you hope
they
so.
don't go
You
through the
hope so.
things that you went through.
You know, because you don't want to give them too much and then it's them still attracted to that at the same time.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
So that's why I say my music is more positive and them something there where it's like, yo, it can be anything, you know, just not try to be no criminal,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
you know,
And keep yourself clean.
keep yourself clean, right? Because
Yes.
I'm pretty sure all of them are got blacks. So it is what it is.
Mm-hmm. Thank you for sharing that story with me. I really appreciate that. Or with us, with the blender.
Yeah, man.
Blender, if you have any questions, so we call the chat the blender because you know we're the mix-up show and we're
See,
mixing. So Blender, if you have any questions for Kirk, you can put them in the chat. So you're who influences you when you're writing or performing your songs? Do you have any artists that you're like this has been an influence on me?
um, before, yeah, not so much anymore. I think them done do them job already.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Bob Marley for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Just his whole impact. Um, the stories that we get of Bob Marley, though, we don't know how true they are. We just have to take them for what they are,
Yeah.
right? The whole that entire, you know, from roots reggae to the rubber dub era to the 90s dance, like all of that has played a major part on who I am and my sound.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I think I'm more influenced by culture and experiences more than anything else.
Mm-hmm.
So Canada has been a great influence on me and my music,
Mm-hmm.
based on the fact that I spent most of my life here
Yeah.
at this point. Um, the UK definitely has a lot of influence on me because when I'm not here, I'm usually there,
Mm.
you know. And they just were able to almost like put the 70s and 80s era in a time capsule and just live there,
Yeah. It's so true.
you know. So, and that is my favorite era of music too. So
Yeah. Yeah, I
when
can
I'm
tell
there,
by some of your ad libs. I'm like,
yeah,
all right.
you
Yeah.
know, so when I'm there, it just feels like I entered into a storybook, or I went back in time, and you know,
Mm-hmm.
I enjoy myself there. But yeah, that's about it though, really, as far as influence. And then clearly my family,
Yes. Yeah,
you know.
I can tell you're very family oriented.
Yeah,
Yeah. But I want to say, well, I guess my co-hosts they're chilling. So usually they tell me I'm a chat too much. So it looked like I'm doing good right now. Huh?
Setting up for the next DJ.
Okay. Well, I want to thank you for coming on the show. You are welcome to pass through anytime you want.
well, thank you.
Um, I have to put you on the spot
Oh
and
wow,
ask you for a little freestyle or something.
wait, no,
Yeah. He's like, right now.
uh, now or later, now or later, the mix-up show will be greater. That would say, upward.
Ba, 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 ba. That's even better than Mr. Diamond, sir. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Much appreciated. I want to say blessings to you. Big up yourself. Keep wearing your crown. And I wish you nothing but success in your career.
I'm gonna give thanks. I appreciate it.
Hmm. All right. I'm going to
All right,
let you go.
all right, blessings.
Okay. All right.